Welcome, everybody. You are...
George the Tech.
No, I am George the Tech. You're here for a new year and a new way for me to have fun and experiment with doing webinars using some new tools that I wasn't using before. So yeah, there's a little bit of you're going to be a little bit of a guinea pig today, and I hope you don't mind. But that's why, oh yeah, I know. It said on the last screen there's a poll. There's no poll. Sorry, guys. So we're trying some new things today, and I hope you don't mind a little bit of experimentation. That's kind of why, part of the reason why we made this a really affordable webinar. We wanted it to be something that many people could join in on, make it an easier barrier to entry. I could put my own face above my face. How about that? Make the barrier to entry lower, and just kind of allow this to be a big free for all of like technology. You know, think of this as like if you ever watch my tech talk on VOBS, an extended tech talk where I just get to talk about whatever the heck I want for really as long as I want, but we're going to keep it under 2 hours. Promise. All right. So thanks for joining us for the GTT webinar, Next Level Production and Recording Techniques for 2023. I hope you get something out of this today, and I hope you enjoy. Now, folks, some of you are VIP, and that means if you're a VIP, you can ask questions during the webinar anytime you like. In fact, we can even elevate you into panelist mode, which means then you can ask questions via microphone instead of just typing. Okay, so I'm going to give that privilege to the VIPs today. There's only 10 of you. I don't think that will get out of control, but we'll find out. I just want to make sure I can stay on topic, but that is what the plan will be. So Kimberly is renaming all of you VIPs in the participants area, adding VIP, and then she can make you also panelists. Your cameras won't be on. It'll just be an audio thing. Again, if you so choose to ask questions with a microphone, you can always just use the old standby, the Q&A box, which I will be paying attention to and using during the event today. So thanks. Let's get into it. First, a little bit of fun. Yeah, this was just a product just launched and released or announced, I guess, at CES, which is the huge. They don't call it the Consumer Electronics Show anymore. They've KFC'd it, and now they call it CES. But that's going on right now, and that one I just came up on my radar, and I just had to share it. It's hilarious. Clearly, not for voiceover. There is no way having a microphone stuffed in a plastic cup strapped to your face will ever, in my lifetime, probably ever sound good. Oh my God. But I just had to share that. That made me laugh so much. Anyway, what we're going to really cover today, what we're actually going to get to, if we can get to all this, by the way, because there's a lot here, and I don't know how many questions are going to come in, and maybe this stuff will be, some of this is kind of lame. I don't know. Well, let's get through it. TwistedWave speech recognition and voice. I can't even read. Speech recognition. I'm speechless after seeing that. TwistedWave speech recognition and video editing. Now, I had a full intention of demonstrating these two new features my demo period had expired. I went to go license it just last minute, went to go license it. And there's an issue on the website and I can't open I can't license the software. So I can't demonstrate these two things to you guys. Unless by the time I'm done, Thomas sees my ticket and fixes this and gives me a license. But anyway, I can at least explain what it does. Crazy. TwistedWave for Windows. Yeah, there's not a whole lot to say here other than that it exists and it does support stacks and plugins. So I'll expound upon that a little bit if you guys want to. Descript, an application that I'm actually using right this very minute to capture this presentation and show my little video bubble floating around on screen. So Descript is a part of the way we're doing today's event. Yeah, I think the circle is better. And I'll tell you why it's so interesting. Waves Clarity VX. At this point, if you're any part an audio geek, you've heard of it, but many of you haven't and seen it demonstrated. So I'll get to show that to you today. Bertom Denoiser, another way of removing noise in a very, very different way. That isn't so, let's just say extensive, but in other ways, more complicated. iZOTOPE RX Rebalance. You probably would never have thought of this as a noise reduction tool, and I'll show you what it can and maybe can't do too well. iZOTOPE Voice Gate. I had full intentions of demonstrating this today in all of its glory, and my demo license currently seems to be deactivated. But I do have another tool from iZOTOPE to demonstrate called DRoom. Half of what I'm doing today is just kind of just letting you know about these companies and that fact that they even exist. Like a lot of them I've only even stumbled on in the last few months, including iZOTOPE. So, here this is really kind of like, hey, did you know this even exists? Maybe you want to try it out. So that's kind of where we're getting at today. After that, some more brands you've never heard of, more than likely, and may or may not be able to demonstrate, but at least I want to show you and explain to you what it is. Audionamics IDC Instant Dialogue Cleaner, another tool for removing noise that you may or may not want to play around with. Acon Digital. Now, this is a company that's been around for a long time, taking an alternative to iZOTOPE. If you're not an iZOTOPE in the iZOTOPE camp, if you're one of the few people who haven't already paid for an iZOTOPE license, you might check out Acon Digital, and hopefully I'll get to show you Extract Dialogue today because it's a very impressive noise reduction tool. And I do have, even for plugins that I can't demonstrate for one reason or another, I do have my very own samples comparing the way these different tools deal with noises that I produced earlier. And that's what we'll be doing. We'll be comparing the processing of those tools and taking a listen to them. Isovox IsoPlug. I'll go into that later. TDR Nova, not a new tool, but still one that bears mentioning because it's a really, really great, versatile, totally free plugin that I think many people that want better tools than what's included with, especially with Audacity, but even fills in some gaps in TwistedWave, is an excellent companion. iZOTOPE RX Loudness Control. Did you know that you could set precise output levels using the RX editor program using loudness control? You can absolutely nail the levels of every file you send out and make them the same. Pretty cool. Yeah, did you know you could do that also in Adobe Audition? It's called Match Loudness. I'll show you that briefly, how that works. Melda Productions. Why did I bring up this random company you've probably never heard of? Maybe you have. It's another source of great free plugins, and I especially am very happy that this very wide array of plugins exists, because if you're going to be using TwistedWave on Windows, you're going to need some plugins because Windows does not come with plugins. Mac comes with a suite of plugins called the audio units. So you need a companion set of plugins to use, and Melda Productions provides those, again, for free. And they even have a loudness analyzer that is pretty amazing and, maybe a little more complicated than you'd like it to be. Source Elements Nexus. I don't have a full demonstration of Nexus. I just, again, kind of